What's going on, people? Welcome to United View. What you lot saying, man? Another transfer update show. Second one in the channel's history. Big up to everyone live in the chat. And to those laughing, saying hopefully he'll go live first this time. I have done that. Yeah, I have done that. So allow it. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Big up to everyone in the chat. Let's see who's present. We got WizKid says, Ayo Padu. Big up yourself. And Slick Daily says, flex on black people time. Listen, man. Listen, allow me in it, allow me. Guys, smash the like button, says Shalil Patel as well. Big up to all the mods as well. Keep doing what you lot are doing. Big up Ivan Bowman says keep it going. And Javari Braid says man like flex. I see Josh in the chat as well saying no. And big up United Aiden says flex as well. So yeah, man, big up for all the love. Great first show yesterday. Proper enjoyed it. Great response. Comments, the stuff went out on the socials, you lot all interacting as well, because this is you lot's channel, this is you lot's community, and that's what we're going to be building right now. But I'm in a good mood. I'm in a good mood. The news, like you can see there, Ramos open to United, question mark. I'm going to talk a little bit about that and why I don't think that will happen. Pau Torres update, you know, that's the thing with going live. Just before we went live, there's some breaking news on Pau Torres. We're going to talk about that. There was a mad stupid story from The Sun about Paul Pogba. We'll talk about that at the back. That was just ridiculous. But I want to talk Max Aarons, some breaking news on Diogo Dalot as well. But the reason why I'm in a good mood, right, is because we're actually prioritizing a defender. Like, we're going to get into, yeah, flex, but this guy might not come, or Varane still, or Pau Torres. All of that stuff is, I get it. Like, we can't get too carried away, because we still need to understand that we haven't got these players over the line yet. But like I was saying yesterday, I think Varane should be a priority over Jadon Sancho. But an even more important statement than that is not just that I think Varane should be a priority over Jadon Sancho. I just think a centre-back should be a priority over a right winger. Do you know what I mean? It isn't even too personal about the two individual players I'm talking about. It's more so we need to strengthen our defence, in my opinion, and midfield more than anywhere else, and that's what's actually coming out. All the noises that are coming out, whether or not there's been concrete bids, whether or not there's not much chance of Ramos coming, whether or not you believe we're going to get Varane, which there seems to be, you know, talk about that. You get a feel for what's going on from reputable outlets, you know, MEN, big journalists, obviously, Fjortov and Romano. You're talking about AS out there in Madrid, big platforms, you know, that are talking about this, as well as the UK-based journalists as well. So Man United are clearly, which I think is a positive, is a massive positive. We're clearly looking at a centre-back. We're clearly looking at a defender, and obviously backup for right wing. Joe Loma says Ramos or Varane flex. Now we'll get into it. For me, it's Varane all day. Ramos, would I take him? Yes, but I think at 35. Obviously older than Varane, he's looking for the big payday, and his heart's on Madrid. Now this is the news on Ramos, which I'll start with, and it's the fact that he wants to go to PSG. He's got an offer from PSG. That's the update. But if it doesn't work out at PSG, he's happy to come to Manchester United over Manchester City. Basically, when you're playing football in the cages in school, in high school, and they pick teams at lunchtime or break time, and you're not the best player, and you get picked last, or second to last, or near the end, that's what we are. That's what we are. That's basically what's going on. I got an offer from PSG, which is very lucrative, but if I ain't really on that, then I'll pick you. And then Man City will finish last, because, you know, the reasons why he's going to pick us is because of the history and the prestigiousness of that surrounds Man United. So you take that as you look at it. For me, do I think Sergio Ramos is going to end up at Man United? No, I don't. Are Man United interested in him? I think so. I get the vibes of 5 years ago, for how long, you know, back in the past. Remember when we were always linked with Ramos, and it was always to get a new deal. I'll be a bit skeptical of that when it comes to Ramos. In terms of credentials, Jesus, he's got over 20 odd major trophies, 4 Champions Leagues. The list goes on. Everything at international level. Euros, World Cup, everything. Like, in terms of pedigree of player, 100%. I can't question that. But in terms of him coming to Man United, Nah, I don't really see it. I don't, especially that PSG have put a concrete offer on the table as well. But I'm not that mad about that, because that means that Varane is more likely to come to Man United. Do you know what I'm saying? Like yesterday, we reported that his agents want to talk with Man United, and that Manchester United want the deal to happen. Now we've got the Pau Torres situation, which I'll get to shortly. But Varane going to PSG, Ramos going to PSG is only a good thing, in my opinion. It's only a good thing because it gives us an easier chance of getting Varane. So I hope he goes to PSG on big P's. Do you know what I'm saying? I can't see him coming to Manchester United. But like I said right at the start, I'm happy, not because I believe that 100% we're going to get this over the line either way, but the noises coming out of Old Trafford, or the noises that are in the press, they're not coming from nowhere. Yes, there's a lot of rumours and things that might not be true, and we'll talk about things, hypothetical situations. I'm never afraid to talk about those. But the noises and the general consensus is that Man United are prioritising a centre-back, which is that's music to my ears. That's music to my ears, because the Sancho thing is going to drag out, and look, essentially, I could be wrong, but I think we will get Sancho. But the fact that there's so much noise coming out about a centre-back right now makes me happy. Whether we get it over the line or not, that's a different story. I could be sitting here in 6 weeks with you guys and we're all pissed, saying why is it not materialised? Why have we not got a centre half, etc., etc. So I don't know. I don't know whether we will get the one that we want, but what I do know is that Manchester United are actively looking for it. And there's this optimism right now, isn't it, that they're going to go and have a ruthless summer. However, realistically, how many times have we been in that position before? I'm in the camp of I'd rather wait to see it happen first. Do you know what I mean? I'd rather wait to see it actually happen with my eyes. A centre half holding up a shirt like this. Don't know who it's going to be, but the names we're linked with are not bad. Do you know what I mean? Even Real Madrid being linked to Jules Koundé of Sevilla, that helps us. Because that means that definitely Varane is going to leave as well. I think you got to look at what's going on around the other clubs as well. So for me, that's a positive, a big positive. The Varane situation, though, like I said yesterday, I still think he should be the number one, because that leads me on to Pau Torres. The reports just before I came live on Pau Torres, and this is MEN kind of reporting this as well. They said that Man United are making progress over a move for Pau Torres. There is a growing belief a deal can be done in the current window, although it is likely to be later in the summer due to Euro 2020. Pau Torres has a release clause in the region of 60 million euros. So what's that? That's about what? 55 million pounds, 50 odd million pounds, somewhere between there. My conversion ain't that great, but I reckon it's somewhere between that. However, there is a belief that Villarreal could consider a player plus cash offer if any clubs are unable to match that figure, although their priority would be to sell him for cash only. And also, MEN reported that Man United are understood to be going all out for a new centre-back signing. So that feeds into, like I said, why I'm just in a good mood with it all anyway, in terms of the noises coming out. We want that. But we need to wait to see who we get. But Pau Torres, look, I'll be honest, when I've seen Pau Torres play, and I don't want to think back to the Villarreal game where we lost in the final, because in my mind that didn't happen. It's gone. We're in the Champions League already. We didn't even need to win the Europa League. Who wants to win the Europa League? But he looks okay. When I watched him against Arsenal the round before, and a couple of other games this year when I sort of seen that we're linked to him, but I can't lie and say I've watched him game in, game out over the course of 10, 15, 20 games. I haven't. But my initial thing on him is that he's okay. He looks okay. He's decent on the ball. Doesn't look overly commanding in the air. He moves well. And he's young. And he's a prospect. Those things are positives. I don't kind of look at him, though, and maybe it's because I don't know enough about him, but I don't look at him and think, yeah, he's the one. He's the one. When I've seen Koundé play, I think he's better than Pau Torres from what I've seen. But again, I can't really make a mad, accurate judgment when I've seen these guys play a handful of times. And I'm not a Spanish football expert. I ain't going to pretend to be. You know what I mean? One thing that I definitely don't do is pretend that I know way more about any player than I actually do. I've seen them play combined probably about 10 times. But my instinct on them is that Pau Torres is all right. He's all right. Do you know what I mean? And for 50 million or 50 million euros, which is the best part, 45 million pounds ish, I'd rather pay that for Varane all day long. I just don't understand it. I just don't understand why we can't just go and get Varane done. Pau Torres looks interesting, but you know, if we end up with him, we end up with him. But for me, I don't know. I just feel like it's maybe subpar. That's my gut feeling. I want someone experienced to come into next to Maguire. I know Maguire is the captain and he's the one with the experience and stuff like that. But he's only got 2 years at playing at Man United at that level. Do you know what I'm saying? He's not been doing that the whole way through his career. I would love a Varane to come in so even Maguire can learn off him. Do you see what I'm saying? I don't really want another really young centre back who needs time, who needs a lot of patience, because you do need that with young players. You can't just expect them to just hit the ground running. You can't just expect them to be amazing from the off. But I don't really want to give Harry Maguire that responsibility. I would rather him look after his own game. He was good towards the end of the season, and when he got injured, we started to see why we actually need him so much. But he was getting better, and he's actually, to be fair, he's actually had quite a good impact on our team. Although he's taken a lot of stick earlier on, I think he's settled down, and I think he has been good for us. But I think it's now time to kick on and put a world-class centre-back next to him. Put a world-class centre-back next to Harry Maguire. I think his game elevates as well. Which is why the Pau Torres thing, I'm a bit like, for pretty much the same money we'll pay for Varane, you're going to get a lot younger centre-half. What is he, 23-ish, I think? 24 potentially. Young, a lot younger, who needs that time and needs that energy put in from Maguire to be able to, you know what I mean, coach him through the games and be there for him, which he should do if we do get him. But I just think the level that we're at, we need a certified, strong centre-half who comes in and almost commands that back four on his own. Do you know what I mean? And helps add to a strong spine. Vikram, thank you for the super chat, bro. Says, not questioning Ramos's defensive skills, but we need someone quick. Ramos and Harry Maguire will be great, but we can't play a high line. Look, I don't think Ramos is no slouch though. Ramos is no slouch, and that's what I'm saying. I'm looking at Pau Torres, and I don't see Pau Torres as massively like super fast. I mean, Varane I see as quicker, more dominant, more powerful. Look, centre halves are never usually the quickest players on the pitch. You know, to get that, they're usually a balance between, you know, quite big, quite strong, quite powerful, and fast. You don't normally get like fullbacks who are absolutely rapid. Say like an Alphonso Davies. You don't normally get a centre back who's as fast as that. You look at someone like Rio Ferdinand. He was pacey, he was quick, but there's a difference between being a quick centre back and then a lightning quick centre half. And I just look at Ramos and think like what Kevin Bridge says there in Free Seas. Ramos still has pace. Like, it's not like, I know he's 35, but he's a top draw centre half. Top draw. Do you know what I mean? Look at Chiellini. Chiellini. I always get in trouble with how I say that. Sorry to any Italians in there if I'm saying it wrong, but I'll say Chiellini. Look at Chiellini and Bonucci. They're old. Like, they've probably got a combined age of about 70 odd, yeah. But Chiellini's not massively quick. I don't think Bonucci's massively quick. But when you understand the game, big man players, yeah, big man players, then it's not all about pace. Do you know what I mean? Someone just said there, Ramos is faster than Varane, you jokers. Big up flex. Is he? Is he faster than Varane? I don't know. Absolute Muppet says Pau Torres recorded the fastest sprint for a defender in La Liga. I don't know if that's true. But that doesn't mean maybe all the centre backs in the Liga are very, very slow, apart from Varane and apart from Ramos. I see where you're going with that. Maybe you got me on that one. I don't know if that's true, but look, I just know that by looking at him, he didn't stand out to me as super, super quick. And we have a little look at Varane, I look at Ramos. Obviously, they're the finished articles, and they can make it happen. They can make shit happen. If Pau Torres does come, got the full support. He's young. He's going to need time to settle. He's going to need time to adjust and adapt to England if he does come. But like I say, back to the point, I'm just more interested in and more happy at the fact that we are looking at a centre half. That's it. That's the main thing for me. That's why I'm happy, because the centre half situation has to be addressed. Look, we're going to get Sancho. I don't want to start doing the percentages like we did all last year when it was 90% this and 10% that. I was 10% gang. I think Mark was 90%, all of that stuff. I don't want to get into that because I think it's too draining. But I'm quite confident that they'll get the deal done. It feels different to last year, but then again, we said that all last year. But the fact that all that's going on, this is exactly what I was saying yesterday, the fact that all that's going on, park that where it is. Let's get involved in some centre-back talk. Let's get involved in some speculation around that, and that's what's happening. Do you know what I'm saying? Flex, this is my ideal transfer window, says Ben O'Farrell. Varane for 52.5 million. They're so precise. Ben's got this to a T. Varane for 52.5 million. Bissouma for 29.8 million. Sancho for 82 million. That's around 170 million, but we sell Dan James for 20 million. Dean Henderson / De Gea for 40 million, Matic for 15, Lingard for 22. What are your thoughts on this? Ben, first of all, my thoughts are I'm going to big you up because you have sat down with a file of facts, a calculator and a spreadsheet, and you've worked that out to a T. So first of all, I'm going to big you up on that. Secondly, it sounds amazing. It sounds amazing, but it also doesn't sound realistic. And I know you probably know that, but that's why you said this is what your ideal transfer window would be. So to be fair, Ben, I bigged that up. That would be a perfect transfer window. I know you lot used to banter me before about what I was saying about Bissouma compared to Fred. I still stand by that, but I still think he'll be a good signing. 29.8 million, 82 million for Sancho. Maybe the 82 million, but then again, to be fair, by the time with the add-ons and what they're actually looking for Sancho, he is going to be the best part of 80 million, so you're not far off there. And 52 million for Varane is an absolute bargain. So Ben, big up yourself on that. TS Audi says, Flex, yes, Flex, big up my guy. And Dupe T says, Bissouma would never go for 29 million. That's another thing. If we did try and go in for Bissouma, you're right. Brighton will probably, he's their best player, arguably. Who else have they got? Trossard, Mope, whatever. Yeah, I'd say Bissouma's probably their best player. Little Lamptey doing his thing as well. Lewis Dunk, I suppose. Oh, Ben White, another one. But along with them, he's one of their biggest assets. So he'll probably be about 40 million. 40 pound, I said, you know. I reckon it'll be about 40 million. Maybe even 50. Because to go out and replace him will be a big thing. So you're right. Maybe 29 million for Bissouma is a bit unrealistic, only because it should be for a player like that. I reckon 30 odd million, but he's Brighton's best player, arguably. So you're right. Can we hit 290 likes, guys? Can we do that? Oh, we've gone over that as well. So let's get to 300 likes for sure. Nearly 600 people watching live as well. Yesterday was at 1,000. We'll get there. We're small. We're growing. We'll get to a stage where we've got like 1,000 people watching every live stream as well. And Las Salima said, yeah, Ben White. Sundar Kanan says, Flex, would you take Varane or Rice? Varane all day. I think you can tell by where I'm at with this Varane thing that I'm a massive admirer of Varane. I always have been. Even when his price tag was all like 100 odd million a few years back, and rightly so. Even then I was like, yeah, it's not realistic, but I'd definitely take him 100%. Kevin McT says, if you need scouting reports, get KG on YouTube. Listen, big up to KG and that he's my guy in it. And he's doing his thing over on his channel. Check his channel out, by the way, as well. KG the comedian. He's doing bits over there, talking about the Euros, doing his 5 thing deep. But one thing he is not is a scout. Do not go to KG if you want to find out about players, if you want to find out about stats about players. He doesn't know. But he will tell you he doesn't know, but still pretend he does. That is KG. And Shaggy Parker, one of the most, says, like, share and subscribe, 100%. Big up yourselves. Flex, would you like an attacking first choice right back? Says Jordan. Right. This is the next bit, because there's a Diogo Dalot situation that's happening now, and that is that AC Milan have proposed to sign Diogo Dalot on another season-long loan with the option to buy. And this is the interesting bit, but Man United currently have no intention of negotiating for Dalot and have informed him to report for pre-season training next month. Solskjaer likes Dalot and has kept in touch with him all year. It's possible he could stay at United. Equally, he might try and use him to generate revenue for other targets. This Dalot thing is interesting because I was going to talk about Max Aarons today as well. We know about Kieran Trippier as well, that Man United were potentially looking to try and get him from Atletico Madrid because we want options at right back, because right now it's all on Wan-Bissaka. Like, I'm surprised. We're lucky that he's really durable and proper fit, Wan-Bissaka, because he doesn't get many injuries. He can pretty much play 90 minutes every game. He's got a great set of lungs on him. He gets up and down. He's mad durable, because we haven't really got a backup right back. You know what I'm saying? King Royal Media says, big up yourself, Flex, Salman Ting. Yeah, big up King Royal, man. Why are we talking about buying players when we have no coaches first before anything? Ollie needs an assistant. I mean, you just took the conversation way left. Big up yourself, King Royal. I mean, we are doing the transfer thing now. I mean, I wasn't even getting onto the Ollie and the coaches as of yet. But I hear what you're saying. The coaching staff is underwhelming. It is, we know that, but I think that's the show for a different day. But big up, thanks for the super chat, King Royal Media, my Salman friend. Big up on yourself. But back to the Diogo Dalot thing. I think it's interesting. Like I said, we've been in for Kieran Trippier. You're looking at Max Aarons, but also a lot of people have said, but hold on a minute, we've got Diogo Dalot out on loan. Just bring him back and make him compete. Some people were saying he's better than Wan-Bissaka. I wouldn't go that far. I'm definitely not trying to hear that. Not right now. On the ball, he might be. On the ball, but I think he just couldn't find his groove when he was with us for the first couple of years, however long it was before he went on loan. I think it was 2 years. He just couldn't find his feet and couldn't get that game time. And he's obviously gone out over to AC Milan and played well, and he's going to want to play football. So what I will say is that the fact that they don't want to entertain any bids off AC Milan does speak volumes. Do Man United say, you know what, let's just bring back Dalot back and legitly give him a chance at competing with Wan-Bissaka? There's going to be games where Wan-Bissaka gets dropped or rested and he's going to play, and whoever plays better just gets it. Me, looking at Dalot as a right back, I just thought he was okay. I thought he was better as a right winger a couple of times. I remember a game against Palace away when I think we put Ashley Young at right back and brought Dalot on and put him right wing. Something like that, I remember. And he come on the right wing and he was all right. He was all right a couple of times in Europe as well. Dalot played right wing. He's a good crosser of the ball, looks to beat his man. I know that ship's definitely sell. We're going to get Sancho, we've got Diallo, we've got Greenwood there. I'm not saying bring him back and play him right wing, but I'm saying when he was here, from what I saw, I thought he was better as an attacker. And that's the thing. It's about getting that balance with right backs, isn't it? You look at someone like Trent and everyone says that, he's amazing, he's this, that and the other, but he can't do this going the other way. You look at someone like Wan-Bissaka and they say the opposite. He's amazing going back towards his own goal. No one can get past him, but going forward he needs to improve, which I think he is improving. Then you look at someone like Reece James, who looks like quite a balanced fullback. Maybe again slightly better going forward than he is defensively, but can put it in. Do you know what I mean? But then you look at Kyle Walker. You know, he looks quite balanced as well, but again, probably better going forward. So I just think the new age right back are usually better at going forward. That's just what we see. But I just think you do need that balance. But in terms of competition for Wan-Bissaka, especially with the priorities that we need, instead of paying 25 million for Max, it's going to be more than that. Again, Norwich, you're looking at them just coming up, and him along with Todd Cantwell and they've already lost Bendia. Max Aarons is one of their best assets along with Todd Cantwell. So if you want to go there when they've just come up, when they're not really looking to try and lose any more of their best players, they're going to charge you 30-40 million pounds. Max Aarons was tipped to was talking to Barcelona last year. Laugh at that if you want, but I know that's true. He was and Bayern. So if someone wants to come in and buy Max Aarons off Norwich, they're going to have to spend big P's. Not 20-25 million, not 15 million. So for me, if we got Diogo Dalot, I think Ollie sits him down. If I was Ollie, I'd say, listen, we've got priorities in the transfer window. This is a chance for you. You've gone and played quite a lot of football last year at AC Milan. Come and show me why you should play over Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka is currently number one. I'm not going to lie. He is. But come show me what you got. Show me what you got. Show me what you're willing to do. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm on that. I would say that, because then that 25 million that we would have to spend plus, like I just said about a Max Aarons, or I don't know, Tariq Lamptey hasn't been linked with us, but I'm just saying a player like that, a Trippier, even Atletico Madrid was saying we want the best part of 40 million euros for him. He's their main right back or right wing back, wherever he plays for them. So to go and get trips, it's going to cost that. And he's going to want to play too. So I dare say it's probably best to stick with Dalot, I think, as a backup to Wan-Bissaka, or in competition with Wan-Bissaka, to show Wan-Bissaka that actually there is someone here who can take your place. Aaron says Wan-Bissaka is not good enough. No, I think he is good enough, and I think he's improving. I think he's improving. Arts KG, I'm one of Wan-Bissaka's biggest critics, and I have been at different points. But what I can see is that he is improving, and I think that's all you can ask for a player in that was his second season. He's improving. He is improving. He's getting better, and I have to rate him for that. He's getting better on the ball. He's getting more defensively aware. He still has deficiencies in his game. That same goal that we can see where the fullback gets sucked in towards the centre backs, and there's loads of space in behind him, and he's out of position a lot. I agree. He has to improve in that. He's not good enough in that area. I still think he's got a way to go on the ball. He still needs to get more consistent at doing that. But he occupies that flank. Whoever's playing on that left-hand side for the opposition team, they will have a lot of work to do because he's just up and down and up and down. So I think he is getting better, and I don't mind that. Nearly 700 watching live as well, which is sick. I love that. Let's get liking, let's get subscribing and sharing. We're on the road to 50k, you guys, man. The road to 50k. Well, it's the road to 100k, but we've got to take it in baby steps, isn't it? Road to 50k. We're on, I think, about 34k now. So hit that subscribe button. Make sure you lot are doing that. And let's get them likes up as well. There's nearly 700 of you watching live. Smash the like button if you haven't done that already. I'm going to say Kandai.m. Thanks for the contribution. I appreciate that. And Francis Jimo says, I'm so happy you have your channel. Saw you on the Don Robbie show and followed you. Happy to support even though not a Man United fan. Big up yourself, Francis, man. Thank you. I appreciate that. And I'm happy to have their own channel too. That's why I'm feeling good about myself and feeling good about everything right now. That's how you gotta be. You know what I mean? People always want to have their opinions on things, that's the internet. That's what the internet is. Do you know what I'm saying? Some people will follow your journey. Some people will switch off and never watch you again. But shout out to all you guys who are following the journey and supporting. 35.6k subs. There you go. Let's see if we can raise that while we're live. But yeah, to finish off on the Dalot situation, I just think it's a no-brainer because of what we need. We need the priority, like I said, in the centre-back situation, defensive midfield situation, and right back will kind of come last. Do you know what I mean? And clearly we're looking at the right wing situation for a lot of money. So any way we can penny pinch, I'm down. I mean, I had a little bit here on Max Aarons as well, which was ESPN were reporting this, that United reignite their interest in Max Aarons. United the article claims that Aarons could provide an alternative to Kieran Trippier at Atletico Madrid, who they valued him at 30 million. So that's what I was saying. Look, I don't really see that materialising because you're gonna have to spend a lot of money on him, and I'm not really sure that we should. The last thing I wanted to touch on, guys, is before I finish, is our midfield situation and a little bit on Dan James. Nicky Butt had some comments, and Nicky Butt said that, you know, we've got McTominay, Bruno and Pogba, like we're all right. We're all right in central midfielder. And he said we don't need Declan Rice because we've got McTominay. And everyone was laughing at him. Look, I don't agree with Nicky Butt that we're okay in central midfield. Like, we're not. We're playing McTominay and Fred. It's not good enough. So I disagree with him there. And I disagree with him to an extent, saying definitely don't get Declan Rice because we've got McTominay. But I said this. I was on a watch along with one of the Euros games, the last Euros game I'd done on Don Robbie channel. And I said, look, if I said it to Toby, and he kind of saw where I was coming. Hear me out on this. Declan Rice is good, yeah? I'm not saying he's not. He's good. But I don't think he's like... Do you know what I mean? And when I do that, that means like levels. That means super levels. I don't think he is. Is McTominay good enough week in, week out for Man United? No, I don't believe he is. And I think that he's a very good squad player, and I think that he's got his attributes that work really well for us at times. You know, sometimes he puts in some really good performances. Other times he doesn't. But if you look at Declan Rice, who's going to cost, what, £80 million? Let's look at the things that Declan Rice would possess that McTominay wouldn't. Height and stature and being strong, they both kind of have that. Could argue that McTominay maybe even a bit more. Getting about the pitch, legs, both possess that. In the tackle, winning back the ball, I think they're not far off each other. Let me know what you think in the comments if you think I'm way off. This is my opinion. Winning back the ball and being like just a pain in the arse and being combative, I think, again, you could even argue that McTominay might be like that. this is where it gets interesting. On the ball, I think Rice has slightly, and I'm not saying way better. There's a lot of people saying Rice is clear in terms of passing and zinging it 30 yards to man's foot, passing between the lines, etc., etc. I don't really see that too. I see a slightly better version of McTominay. Not £80 million better than McTominay though. Do you see what I'm saying? Because get this, Rice is arguably one of West Ham. Well, not arguably, he's one of West Ham's best players. If you want to buy Declan Rice, you need to be slapping down opening bids of £70 million, in my opinion, or they're not going to entertain it. I mean, look, we got obviously McTominay's free because he come through the youth academy. But let's just what would you put? What price would you put on Declan Rice? Not on Declan Rice. What price would you put on McTominay? Because I would put McTominay now is probably worth what? If he was to leave tomorrow, he's probably worth 35 million. About 30, between 30 and 40 million, I'm going to say. You could disagree with me because you think he's rubbish or whatever, but I'm telling you now, if he left Man United, in my opinion, right, because he's played at Man United, he's played in big games, I reckon he'll be worth about between 30 and 40 million. Someone said they're 50 million. Would you say that Rice is double the player that McTominay is? Double the player? 80 million worth? I don't think so. I don't think so, if I'm honest. I think Rice is a good player. I think he's still got gears to go up. I just don't know about buying him for all 80 million pounds when we've got McTominay, who does not far off the same job, just does it a little bit worse. All I want, I'm not, and again, that's not me saying stick with McTominay, we're fine, like what Nicky Butt says. That's what I'm saying about why I disagree with him. But when you deep it, it's not that much of an upgrade. I'm all for upgrading, and when I upgrade, I want the proper upgrade. I don't want like he's a little bit better than what we got. I want like Varane upgrade. Varane versus Lindelof. Varane's clear. Simple. That's the kind of upgrades that I want. When we kept Cavani Igalo, Cavani's clear. Do you see what I'm saying? When we bought Wan-Bissaka, who do we have at right back then? Okay, Ashley Young. He's turned out to be. He's got good potential. Yeah, he's better than Ashley Young, but Ashley Young was a good servant to the club. Do you know what I mean? No, that's where I'm coming from with it. King Royal Media says, to be honest, Flex, we have Ahmad, aka Madness. We don't need Sancho. We need a class CDM and a centre back. That's what I really feel we need. Yeah, and what's going to go on with Ahmad? That's what we have to look at as well. How much is he going to play next year? Do you know what I mean? Mateus says, Flex, I absolutely love that you started United View. I still love United Stand, but I am so happy that there is another view, excuse the pun, and creative perspective on a fan channel. 100%. That's what people trying to compare. Oh, I don't like United. Listen, big up the United Stand, man. Keep supporting. Don't exactly. You shouldn't have to choose. 100%, man. They're doing great stuff. And hashtag pray for Ricky's fan cams though. Big up. And a lot of people saying like, where's Ricky? Ricky's fine. Ricky's okay, man. I think he's just chilling. Don't worry about Ricky. So yeah, to finish off on that central midfield thing, I just think we have to be careful what we wish for. For me, I want to see real upgrades in it. We're at the stage where the margins are too fine. The amount that we're behind City and Liverpool when they get their act together, and Chelsea, who we're going to kick on, with what we currently have, is too far to be buying a player for big money, and it's marginally better than what we had before. I want to see us get big improvements across the whole thing. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to see us just get someone who's just a little bit better than what we just had. And in my opinion, if we go after certain players that are going to cost huge price tags, I ain't 100% sure that they're a million times better than what we have. Do you know what I mean? Another thing I wanted to touch on was Dan James. I saw Chiellini bigging him up, saying how good he was. And just look how he's playing for Wales. He's created the most chances for them. And it just shows you, innit, like about systems, and it shows you that a player can have a role in it. And again, this is not me saying left wing's fine, leave Daniel James there. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is that he has a place in the team. He can play. He can play. In the words of Ricky, in the voices of Ricky, like I say, he's a decent player. He's got his limitations. I 100% agree with that, but he can still do his thing. He can. Libogang, big up yourself, says, would you buy Jack Grealish 10 for 80 million, and if so, is Paul Pogba 60 million? Would I buy Jack Grealish for 80 million? Again, because of the English gas and of how good that he is, it gets like blown up more than it is. Jack Grealish really should be like 50 million, 60 million. Like, it's not like, the thing with Jack Grealish is, yeah, he's a fantastic player. I'm not saying he's not. He looks generational. But because this is England, and big up to, if you're watching the stream and you're not from England and you're not English, then maybe you see it, what I'm saying. And if you are English watching this, then you probably should see it as well, because this is what we always do with our players. We're just basically saying he is Gaza, and like, he can just do everything. So he's a £100 million player, £80 million player. I'm not sure that's the case. Ideally, he should cost 50 odd million, 60 million. But with all the hype that goes on and with the English premium tax, it ends up being 80 million. So yeah, I understand that. But for me, I don't think he should be that much. But he's a fantastic player. Would I buy him? Yes. Is Paul Pogba worth 60 million? Yes. Especially now he's going into the 1 year. That's what I was saying yesterday. If we do sell Paul Pogba, I think it's going to be between 60 and 70 million, because he's only got 1 year left. Ibro Sivic says, Flex, just want to say congratulations, brother Ibrahim. Thank you, Ibrahim. Man like Ibro. There's been a lot of congratulations. Everyone who sent me messages, I have to say thank you, because there's been so many I haven't even been able to respond to, like even on Twitter, in my DMs, everything. Bare love. And like, you know, you get like 2% of people chatting shit. Let the 2% chat shit. You know what I mean? I'm the idiot. We're the idiots if we let anyone bring any negativity into our lives. And if you know that you've just done something for you, you know what I mean, that is best for you, and you know that you're going on to a different journey, and you've left something behind. You might have left it behind, you know, something that's been there for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years. You might have just moved on from it, and you know, you're stepping into a different zone. But just know that you can do it. That's as humans, we get stuck in a comfort zone, innit? And you think like, if I do anything different to what I know, maybe it might not be right. But listen, I keep saying it, I hate to sound like a philosopher, I'm not, but I've been doing a lot of reading, man. You got to get your mind right and just believe in yourself that you can be anything you want to do. Do you know what I'm saying? And try. Our biggest limitation on our progress in anything, I think, is ourselves. It's not anyone else, it's ourselves. Do you know what I mean? Another super chat here from Mason says, congrats on the new show, Flex. How would you feel about Tielemans coming to United? I'd love to see us grab Rice before the summer ends. Tielemans, again, nice player. He's nice. I just don't know about like what it would be to make the leap up to Man United. Tielemans is better than Pred. Yeah, I agree. Is he better than McTominay? Definitely better on the ball. Not as physical as McTominay, though. He doesn't get about the pitch as well as McTominay. I've seen Tielemans, yeah. And look, you could laugh at me, whatever. This is just my observation. I've seen Tielemans sometimes struggling for air to get back in. Like, you have to, don't just look at what a player does when they've got the ball at their feet. Look at what they do off the ball as well. And I've seen him wrong side quite a few times, and that recovery is not really there. That ability to really get about, which is why indeed he compliments him so much. So be careful on the Tielemans one. Decent on the ball. You know what I mean? Look at the goal he scored in the FA Cup final against Chelsea. What a goal. Don't get me wrong. Good ability. I do like him. But if you're looking at the downside of his game, I've seen him struggle to get about the pitch a little bit. So that would concern me. And Somia Deep says, why not buy Ndidi? He's top 3 CDMs in the Premier League. Yeah. See, he's another good one. Again, I like him. I like him a lot. Passing range, again, when you deep it, is he great on the ball? Is Ndidi fantastic on the ball? I don't think he is. I think he's better at winning it back. So that's what I mean. It's just about like looking at the attributes and then gauging it in terms of what price we want to pay. Do you know what I mean? I just refuse. And I don't know if it's because I'm stubborn. I'm not trying to be negative, but I always think you have to be careful when you think the grass is greener. Like, I'm not saying what we have is good enough and we should stick with that. But what I do think is it's easy to look at players who do a job for a team with completely different expectations, playing with completely different players in a whole different system, and think 100% they are exactly what we need. And then you end up with that player, and then you go, boy, you know what? I thought it'd be a bit better than this. Do you know what I mean? Orlando says Rice is no better than Scott. People thinks he's on Xavi's level. He's an average player. Agree with you. Too easy to say other players are better than ours, says Orlando. Yeah, and that's just it. Don't get me wrong. There are players out there that you can say this person's clear, that person's clear of this player and that player. But I just think as football fans, we do it too much. We always think the grass is like a million times greener when it isn't always. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, guys, thanks for watching the video. Thank you for everyone in the comments as well. Make sure you guys subscribe. King Royal Media says, did you see Fred bossing it next to Casemiro? Actually, that was my last point. You just reminded me, King Royal. I was wrapping up the stream, actually. Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. Wait, because actually Fred, that's another one I want to talk about. It's been 3 years, actually. It's Fred's 3-year anniversary. Big up Pastor Fred. And I wanted to just quickly, really quickly talk about him. Because, like you said, they're bossing it for Brazil right now, playing really well. There's been times when we've seen Fred play really well. But just on the ball, like I said, we just want a little bit more. How would you assess Fred's 3 years? I think they've been up and down. The first year, he really struggled, massively struggled. The middle year, I think he had a good season, and last year, I think because we were starting to get frustrated with a lot of deficiencies in our team, where we could see there's gaping holes in central midfield, centre back, etc. We started to kind of focus on Fred not being good enough on the ball. We started to focus on that, which I get, but I think Fred's a good player. Don't get me wrong. There were times where us as a fan base got way too gassed with Fred, like putting him on some next levels, which he ain't that. But I can see where the love for Fred was coming from, because actually he's a decent player. You talk about getting about the pitch, good in the tackle, good ball recovery, and when he simplifies it, he's actually not bad on the ball, but it's just not good enough. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's just it. It's just, and obviously he can't shoot, but he's a holding midfielder. I don't want to see Fred making third man runs, arriving late into the box. That's not his game. So I think Fred's done okay. But that's the problem. He's done okay. What are we buying for? 47 million, 50 million? And it's like Alan Timo says there, 5 out of 10 for Fred. 5 or 6 out of 10 people are saying. Some people are saying 3 out of 10, 1 out of 10. Wow, that's a bit harsh. I wouldn't go that low. But I think that's 6.5 out of 10. Heart on the sleeve player, 100%. And some of our better performances are really big performances. I know we've struggled to make those consistent, hence why, we haven't done too well in the last however many years and not finished where we want. But he's been part of a lot of big performances for us. A lot of big performances. I just think we struggle with the consistency with him, and we struggle with going to that next level. And that's what I'm talking about, going to that next level. Fred and McTominay are the benchmark for us in midfield. We need to go up gears by far, though. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, that was what I wanted to touch on. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching the stream. Big up all the mods. Big up everyone in the chat. Thank you all for watching. Hit the like button, hit subscribe. Like I said, road to 50k. We're going to take it slow, small steps. You're going to get your transfer update show every day at 12 o'clock. And we're just going to build from there. Do you know what I'm saying? I didn't want to just start and just copy what everyone else is doing and just go. We're just going to build slowly, man. So I saw some of you guys saying we want more videos already. We're going to build up, man. We're just going to take our time and do things slowly here. But thanks for